This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? 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 Hello?
Good morning, ma'am.
వినపడుతుందమ్మా?
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am? Yes, ma'am. వినిపిస్తుంది.
ఎక్కడ దాకా వినపడింది?
ఫస్ట్ స్లైడ్ లో మీరు డెఫినేషన్ చెప్పిన తర్వాత డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయింది మ్యామ్. వీడియో ఉండింది, ఐ మీన్ కనిపించింది, ఇప్పుడు ఆడియో కట్ అయింది మ్యామ్. ఇందా ఇప్పుడు బానే ఉంది మ్యామ్. ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్ స్లైడ్
వినపడుతుందా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, ఎస్ మ్యామ్. ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుంది.
వినపడిందమ్మా?
లేదు మ్యామ్, లేదు. ఫస్ట్ స్లైడ్ లో డెఫినేషన్ చెప్పిన దాకా ఉండింది.
ఫస్ట్ స్లైడ్
డెఫినేషన్ మీరు డిక్టేట్ చేసిన దాకా వినిపించింది మ్యామ్. తర్వాత
డెఫినేషన్ వరకే వినపడిందా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
అది అలాగమ్మా, అలాగే పెట్టాలి. హలో, ఇవన్నీ వినపడలేదమ్మా? ఇవన్నీ వినపడలేదా మీకు?
లేదు మ్యామ్.
హలో,
హలో, వినిపించలేదు మ్యామ్ ఇందాక. ఈ స్లైడ్
ఏమి వినపడలేదా?
లేదు, ఈ స్లైడ్ రాలేదు.
స్లైడ్స్ కూడా రాలేదా?
సెకండ్ స్లైడ్ దాకా వచ్చింది మ్యామ్. మెడికల్ కాజెస్, సోషల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ రాలేదు.
మెడికల్ కాజెస్ ఇంతవరకు వచ్చిందా?
ఈ స్లైడ్ రాలేదు మ్యామ్. సెకండ్ స్లైడ్ దాకా కనిపించింది.
సరే, దీస్ ఆర్ ద కాజెస్ ఫర్ మెడికల్ కాజెస్. ఇక్కడ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నామ్మా. వినపడుతుందా ఇప్పుడు క్లియర్ గా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, ఎస్ మ్యామ్. ఇప్పుడు క్లియర్ గా.
సో వాట్ ఆర్ ద కాజెస్ ఫర్ ద maternal mortality? Obstetric causes, non-obstetric causes and social factors are important. Obstetric causes are toxemia of pregnancy, hemorrhage, infection, obstructed labor, unsafe abortion. And non-obstetric causes are anemia, malignancy, accidents, associated diseases like cardiac or renal, etc. And not only the social factors are age at childbirth, too early or too late, they all have risk for maternal mortality. And multiparity and too close pregnancies, the spacing is, when there is spacing is very less, there are more chances for anemia, sepsis. So there are more chances for maternal mortality. And family size, malnutrition, poverty, illiteracy, lack of maternal services, shortage of health manpower, delivered by untrained guys, poor environmental sanitation, poor transportation facilities, and social customs, all these play a major role in maternal mortality. So coming to the causes of maternal mortality, see, the major cause is hemorrhage. It is around 24%. Then sepsis, next is 15%. Unsafe abortions 13%. Hypertension disorders 12%. And obstructed labor 8%. All these play a role in direct causes for the maternal mortality. Indirect causes are 20% and other causes are 10%. So we'll go first, we'll deal with hemorrhage. Hemorrhage mostly due to postpartum hemorrhage. Do you think that during the time of delivery, we can treat postpartum hemorrhage? If you take precautions that time, is it enough? No. Always the postpartum hemorrhage we can prevent from the antenatal period itself. So whoever comes, whoever pregnant lady comes, that her hemoglobin should be always more than 10. And we should know the blood grouping and typing of each and every antenatal patient. Number 2, we have to screen for the risk factors in a pregnant lady. What are the risk factors? Who are going to PPH? These people are with twin gestation, with polyhydramnias, the patient with multiparity, and big baby and previous history of LSCS, and the patient who had low-lying placenta, that is placenta previa. These are the cases we have to screen them, and immediately we have to advise them that they should have an institutional delivery. So all the pediatrician, anesthetist, obstetrician and blood facilities will be available there in the tertiary center, and these cases should be advised for the delivery of higher centers. Not only that, the placental localization play a major role, because this placenta, when they get attached over the scar, previous scar, there are more chances for rupture and also adherent placenta. And not only that, placenta previa, there are more chances for adherent placenta. Whenever you come across a case of placenta previa, you have to localize the placenta. We have to see for the placenta migration. And not only that, whenever there is low lying, you have to go for the Doppler so that we can identify placenta increta or percreta, and we can have a institutional delivery, because these cases, because of adherent placenta, they may go into subtotal hysterectomy. We have to tell them, we have to inform them that they should have an institutional delivery. So not only that, and the antenatal period, in the internatal period, at the time of delivery, if you apply a force or ventouse after the application and after the delivery of the baby, always look for the any perineal tears. We have to explore the cervix and vagina. And for the delivery of the placenta, always use Brand Andrews technique, but not Credis method, isn't it? Is that so? And we have to start the oxytocin, and Brand Andrews technique has to be implemented. What are the signs of placental separation? Can you tell me? Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? Fast sharing and can you hear me, Amma? So signs of placental separation we have to see, and these are vaginal bleeding, lengthening of the cord will be present. Number third, suprapubic bulge will be present, and pain, the patient will have a uterine contraction also. So we have to see for the placental separation, then only we have to try to separate the placenta. Number three, after the separation of the placenta and after removal of the placenta, we have to look for the cotyledons, whether the complete placenta has come or not. And not only that, when you go for the manual removal of placenta, you should be very gentle in doing manual removal of placenta. And not only that, we have to look fourth stage of labor. What is fourth stage of labor? We have to observe the mother and fetus, baby, after delivery at least for 1 hour. We have to monitor the pulse, BP, and her vitals, not only the vitals, and her vaginal bleeding. We have to observe them whether there is any chance of PPH. So here what I have written: treat anemia in pregnancy, skill pertinent at birth, active maintenance third stage of labor, use of oxytocin in time, replace fluid loss, and blood transfusion are a must when there is hemorrhage. Next one is infection. Infection in labor and puerperal. So what are 5 C's we should know? 5 C's are clean surroundings, clean surface, clean hands, clean cord, and clean cut. Okay? All these will come under 5 C's. We have to practice all these 5 C's in conducting a labor. So, what are the precautions we have to take when you enter a labor ward? So, what are the precautions? We have to change our slippers. Number 1, we have to change the linen. We have to minimize the not only the pervaginal examination, we have to minimize and we have to wash our hands before doing a pervaginal examination and after that also. I don't think we are using sterile gloves, but we have to wash our hands. Then only we have to do pervaginal examination, and this has to be minimized. Okay, and not only that, the entry of attendants also should be minimized. And now every week we have to sanitize or sterilize the delivery room. Okay, even though what are the precautions we are taking for after each delivery, every week we have to get it sanitized. So clean practices, and not only the important one is good use of proper antibiotics is also very much important to prevent infection. Next comes the hypertensive during delivery pregnancy. What is PAH? If the BP is more than 140/90 after 20 weeks of gestation. So early detection is very important. Why early detection? See, don't rely on sisters to monitor the blood pressure. Always keep an eye on your patient. We have to record the blood pressure. Not only that, we have to see her weight whenever there is edema or increase in weight of the patient than usual. Always think she may develop hypertension. So early detection is very much important, and we have to give antihypertensives whenever you detect a increase in blood pressure. After 6 hours apart also, if you detect increase in blood pressure, we have to advise them antihypertensives. And we have to tell them to deliver in an institution or higher center, because she may land up in eclampsia, HELLP syndrome. That's why, and she may need ventilator also sometimes. So this is the case, problems will come across. And whenever you want to conduct a delivery, always keep magnesium sulfate in your hand. And you should know how to give loading dose and maintenance dose of magnesium sulfate. That is Pritchard's regime we are following here in our hospital. And not only the antidote of magnesium sulfate is also very much important, because we have to monitor the magnesium sulfate toxicity. Then unsafe abortions. Unsafe abortion, by bad luck, abortion statistics are underplayed. Usually the deliveries will be, we have a correct statistics, but for our abortions, they won't reveal us. So there are more chances for unsafe abortions. So the abortion should be conducted by a skilled attendant. Otherwise, what's the problem? They may land up in sepsis. Why? They may, if the skilled doctor is not, the doctor is not skilled in conducting abortions, he may rupture, he may cause injury to the uterus, perforation, and chances of left over the conceptus in the uterine cavity itself, and he may not use proper antibiotics. So after abortions also, we have to advise both wife and husband about the family planning services, and we have to advise the family planning services which are welcomed by the patient. Okay, whatever the list we need not tell them, which are accessible and acceptable by the patient is important in advising the family planning procedures. And antibiotics are a must after doing an abortion. And nowadays it's very lucky to have medical abortions. Now invasive procedures has come down after emerging of medical abortions by using mifepristone and misoprostol. Then comes the obstructed labor due to CPD. What is obstructed labor? In spite of good uterine contraction, if the presenting part is not descended due to mechanical obstruction. So whenever the patient comes to the hospital, to prevent this obstructed labor, always use a partograph. What is partograph? The events that occur recorded on a plaque whenever the pregnant lady enters into the labor room for delivery. So what does it include? As soon as when she entered, what's her name, her address, her parity, gravida, parity, previous live children, what is the status of membranes, whether they are ruptured or not. If ruptured, what's the color of the lichen, and her pulse, BP, temperature, alert line, action line, everything will be there, and baby fetal heart rate. These are the so many things will be plotted on the partogram. So use a partogram, and it should be in time, so we can prevent obstructed labor and anemia. Anemia is one of the major causes of medical disorders. So we have, what is anemia? Decreased hemoglobin concentration because of decreased oxygen carrying capacity because of decreased hemoglobin concentration, isn't it? So what we have to do is protein supplementation of iron and folic acid. So usually the government has given 100 tablets of iron and folic acid, and not only that, we have to treat the worm infestation. See, first trimester we are not supposed to do deworming methods. It is contraindicated because organogenesis will occur in the first trimester. We are not supposed to give these drugs. Only in second and third trimester only we have to give antihelminthics. Okay, and we have to see her hemoglobin always more than 10. If it is less than 7, immediately admit her, and if necessary, if time is there, we can give iron sucrose injections. Otherwise, immediately blood transfusion is advisable for this patient. See, this is already I told you. So what are the things which are avoidable, which we can avoid? So social evils, illiteracy, we can improvise. Early pregnancy, we can stop advising. Ignorance and unregulated fertility and unsafe abortions can be controlled. Poor social economic status conditions can be improved with the help of government strategies. It's very much important. At least 4 antenatal visits, including early registration before 12 weeks, is a must. And each and every visit they have to do for hemoglobin, urine examination, and scan. See, antenatal care, internatal care, and emergency care. Antenatal, early detection of the pregnancy, minimum of 4 antenatal visits by WHO. First at 16 weeks, second at 24 to 28 weeks, third at 32 weeks, and fourth at 36 weeks. All should be advised by WHO, and to strengthen the referral system, and routine immunization like tetanus toxoid and iron folic acid therapy for 100 tablets after the first trimester are advisable in the antenatal period. In the internatal period, institutional deliveries are advised. 3 cleans they are given. No, it is 5 C's. Already I told you 5 C's are nothing but clean surroundings, clean surface, clean hands, clean umbilical cord, and clean cut. And postnatally, we have to support the both mother and care and child. And family planning services should be planned according to the pregnancy. And safe abortion services are advised, and breastfeeding, early and exclusive breastfeeding are advisable. And essential care for the newborn. You have to do clean delivery. You have to resuscitate the baby at birth, and you have to prevent by hypothermia, infections, and refer to the sick newborn baby to the higher centers. These are things which we have to do during the postnatal period. And and there are so many resources for the maternal health. So there are so many programs the government is conducting. A 18-week program for doctors, MBBS doctors, in life-saving anesthesia skills for emergency obstetric care. They will teach us how to do emergency anesthesia skills for at least 18 weeks program will be there. In Tamil Nadu, it is 24 weeks and 16 weeks training program for doctors in collaboration with FOXI. For in obstetric and management skills, they are giving 16-week training program. Okay, for obstetrics in anesthesia, they are giving about 18 weeks training program. And not only that, for all medical officers, they are giving 10-day training program in basic emergency obstetric care and 3-week training program for ANMs, nurses, lady health visitors, and skilled birth attendants. And not only that, they are conducting the maternal mortality conferences, and maternal death review is very much important. We should know the cause of the death of the mother and how we can prevent it, and what are the precautions we have to take, what are the mistakes that we have to be corrected. All these things will be reviewed in the maternal death review, and pediatric refresh courses for continuing education of obstetrics. See, so many conferences, webinars are there nowadays, so many refreshing courses which we can upgrade our knowledge. And not only that, government is giving national ambulance service, Nishchay pregnancy kits, medical officers for safe MTP techniques. They are giving training for the medical officers to do MTPs, blood storage centers. Anemia will be tracked and the mother will be treated with iron and folic. Okay. And not only that, we have to take the help of religious leaders and see Lions Club, Rotary Club, all these people will conduct some programs even for the pregnant ladies, and they'll give good advices because of their experience. Okay, all the help of the society and family also we have to take to prevent this maternal mortality. And girls, children, adolescents should have good nutrition, education, and economic opportunities. Barriers to access the healthcare facilities should be removed, and decentralization of services. That means we should get all the services to the mother in everywhere in the center. We have to not only in one place, in every place we have to get services for the woman. And safe abortion services and post-abortion care should be taken. Social inequalities, discrimination on grounds of gender, age, and marital status are to be removed. And not only that, Government of India is giving Janani Suraksha Yojana. This is a short answer. It is under NRHM. In this scheme, they include urban mothers also. The amount of 700 is paid to rural mothers, 600 is paid to urban mothers, and 500 is given to mothers who deliver at home. Janani Sishu Suraksha Karyakramam. It is free and cashless delivery. Even in our hospital, we are doing the same thing in our ashram. Free cesarean sections, free drugs and consumables, free diagnostics tests, free diet, and free provision of blood also. Exemptions from user charges. Even not only the government, even we also doing the same thing. Free transport from home to healthcare institution, and free transport between facilities in case of referral, and draw from institution to home after 48 hours. And other programs are Navajit Sishu Suraksha Karyakramam, Rashtriya Bal Swachha Karyakramam, and Rashtriya Kishore Swachha Karyakramam. These are the programs conducted by the government. Okay. Thank you.
నెక్స్ట్ రౌండ్ వచ్చి ఒకసారి వాయిస్ క్లోజ్ చేస్తుంది అట్నే సార్ లాస్ట్ 115 15 1